folks, welcome back to Woody's Corner, our channel here on YouTube. And today I'd show you what I'm doing with the front dash. I've got a request from the passengers. You know, every time they come up here and sit in the front, first question is where can I plug my phone in? And even on our just last trip last weekend, Sherry got up here to the front, and that was the first question: is where's the plug? So you know, there's a plug in the overhead, you know, up this way here, but you know, there's not a really clean way to run a cable down and just have it sitting out for, you know, charging a phone. And then there is a plug under the under all these drawers. I'll pull these out in a minute. But back in there, there's actually an outlet, which I've got a couple things plugged in. There's a little heater at the very bottom down here, and it plugs in there. And actually, our little phone, we got one of these phones. We plug it in here, and this is one of those Radio Shack deals that talks to the phone that we plugged in the back bedroom. So, but yeah, it rings. You can hear it up here. Whatever phone might have been plugged in this bus before wasn't back there, so we found that on eBay. So we got that plugged in, and here comes Sherry. Hey, we're recording a video here. Say hello.
Hello.
Are you even in the video?
To run just to Chewy's to get Deb and get Josh's Whataburger gift card. You can't get a Whataburger gift card at Walmart,
okay.
Bose, Walgreens. I guess because there's not one up here.
Yep. All right. It's Easter tomorrow, so kind of doing the last minute shopping here. I've got actually one of my cooking videos I'll do tomorrow and get it on the channel is my first whole suckling pig. So we're smoking that on the Rectech RT700. Be the first pig, so I'm really looking forward to having a cooking video for that. It'll be a lot of fun, and oh, is it going to be tasty. It's a 33-pound pig. All right, well, back to this. So what we're going to do, I'm going to move this to not show me, and I'll show you here. All right, so, you know, when I replaced the stereo, I put in this Kenwood touchscreen deck, and of course the backup camera hooked up very nicely to that. I upgraded the backup camera to a color system, and on our renovation video, some of the links in the description actually have all of those devices that we bought for that. But this particular Kenwood, can't see the model number, but I think it's in the description on the renovation video. But it of course supports the wireless Android Auto and the wireless Apple Auto, and so I can't say enough about that as a feature to actually, you know, have your phone nearby, but to be wireless and not tethered is really cool. So, you know, these were the Apple and Android ports that go to the deck here, and I just kind of mounted them here. I actually put a hard switch here, and eventually I'll probably put a cap on the red light, but it's kind of nice. I basically hardwired it, so it is a hard on and off. And then the mic I've got mounted here. So here's a little bit of a close-up of all that. Okay, and then you notice, you know, when I pulled the deck and the equalizer out of here and here, well, that was the TV, the old TV. One of the decks was here. I guess probably the CD. The video cut off. But yeah, it'll be nice and secure, and give us some outlets up here that are really accessible. I'll be able to plug my phone in right here, so it's close by, even though it's wireless and Bluetooth. But that way, while I'm traveling, you know, it'll get a good charge. Because what I found was, you know, these type of ports that go into this deck, you know, they're really for more of a media input kind of thing, and they don't really charge that well, is kind of what I noticed. So that's the other reason I wanted to have a, you know, a better charger up here. And then when we're parked or camping and stuff, again, I've got one of those stand-up chargers, so I can just plug it in here. I have it kind of around the corner over here. You know, back here, one of these. And by the way, this Bluetooth bar, or I mean this Bose sound speaker, is part of the TV setup that you see up there. That's actually a UHD monitor. I didn't go with a TV. I did a UHD monitor and I ran HDMI, you know, all through the cabinet back there. And then I brought it over here and I have this UHD Sony player. And basically we digitized, you know, our entire movie collection, you know, on the dongle. It's a 256 gig and it's probably almost full. But we don't mess with, you know, discs. I mean, we can run Blu-ray and all that through this player. But we just do that, and it's, you know, don't have to mess with discs. It's really nice. I got the same setup in the back. It's a different player, but I got the dongle with all the movies in the back bedroom, and that set up too. But anyway, this is working out pretty well. This is wired for, you know, the satellite, and there's a dealy bob on top for the satellite. It's already there. We just never set up an account with Dish or whoever, and we'll look into that in the future, maybe. So. But anyway, the thing I was going to say about this Bose speaker is this player had the ability to Bluetooth your audio device. So I didn't have to snake any wires, you know, around here, around the walls, down there, because there really was no easy way to do that and conceal it. But it works great. It's Bluetooth, sounds great. That little bar cranks out some really good sound, and you know, the location of it on the table, it's got little rubber feet and it doesn't move too much, so it's really worked out well. Real happy with all the sound options. And of course, I mentioned we replaced all the speakers. There's, I don't know, 10 speakers in this thing. Got them all upgraded. They were all shot and rotted, and now it's a great sound. Maybe at the end of this video I'll fire that up so you can hear the sound, but it's very much a surround sound because the speakers are everywhere, and super clear. All right, well, let's put this thing in. I'll show a couple snippets as I pull the drawers out, I guess. Be right back. All right, I just ran the cable down and just plugged this in to test it. But you can see cable just runs in the back, so it's going to mount there. Yep, power's working. In case you wonder what's back in here, there's always a bunch of wiring for stuff, and then can't see it. Well, you can see the outlet. I put a little three-way back there, and actually that orange cable you see, or the tip, I ran that down and around the front fiberglass cap and then over to the generator battery area underneath the driver's seat, because my battery wasn't charging, and honestly I couldn't figure out why I never did, but even the previous owner had trouble with it. So I basically put a trickle charger on it, and so every time we're plugged in, I mean, it's just automatically always charging now. Just allocator clipped it, it's all holding well. So that's where I actually ran that wire. Just had to drill a tiny small hole to get the power through to get into that area. Back here, of course, we got, you know, all the power amps for the stereo, the musical horn speakers, the PA speakers out there. Can't see it, but right down under, you know, this box that's covering up the heater, the little silver musical box, or musical horn box, is actually mounted on the floor down there. And that's where that is. And so simple, but I'll show it again after I get it buttoned up here and cleaned up. Pretty cool though. Okay, so got it all buttoned up. Honestly, it's kind of like not the most perfect final product. Just kind of the way the paint is. I don't mean, you can kind of see it, but I mean, you know, well, I'll be my worst critic here. But you know, stand back, and you know, there's everything all mounted, and I'm happy with it. I mean, everything is like very functional. It was kind of hard, you know, deciding on what colors to use for all this. I ended up, you know, doing the black, even though this dash is kind of a gray or whatever. But that's the final product, and yeah, it's nice and snug. Everything works. So project done. I was going to tell you, you know, when I did to replace the camera, the backup camera, of course, on this deck, it's real nice because you can just press camera anytime you want, and the mirror image, I mean, it's flipped, so it's reading properly in the back. But you know, you can hit the camera switch on and off, and it goes right back to where you were. You know, and then the switch down here was a power switch for that backup camera, so that was still in use, and so I, you know, I always have to remember to turn this off. But and then, you know, there's a what is it, a camera up here on the dash right here. There's a camera defrost, and that fan was back there. It still works, and so if you ever need that, that works. But yeah, with the wireless feature here, I'll just demonstrate. Of course, I know all of you know about this, but I mean, not being tethered and all that is so nice. But if I just want to go somewhere, you know, navigate to hot springs, or wait a minute, hey Google. You know what? A lot of times I end up just hitting the microphone. Navigate to Ouachita State Park, Hot Springs, Arkansas. And
okay, Lake Ouachita State Park. Here we go.
Yeah. 3.5 hours.
Head southwest on Kimberly Place toward Woody Drive.
It was actually
Lake Ouachita State Park may be closed by the time you arrive.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, 3.5 hours would be a normal drive, but in this bus, the way we went, of course, we didn't go the way this said. We took all interstate down there through Little Rock, but it was all of 5 hours from here. And then, of course, you know, you get all your other functions. Of course, normally I use the maps and then the sound. I guess while I'm videoing, it turned the sound off. Wait a minute. Here we go. So I was just going to turn this up. I mean, I know on the camera you won't get a feel for it, but I'll walk in the back of the bus here too. I'm going to crank this thing up. It's got a good bass sound too. So again, with the speaker upgrades, I mean, it's just crystal clear. It's awesome. It's funny, all the speakers work except the one speaker that did work right underneath the driver's seat back here, and it's hard to get to because the couch is butted up there, and I have to kind of release all that to get it out. But after I hooked everything up, that one speaker was the only one that worked. It's a woofer, and it's the only one that now doesn't produce sound. After all the work I did to get all this together, I couldn't believe it. Anyway, isn't that a Wanderlodge for you? There you go. All right, well, we're going to cut it off here. I just want to share a little of the electronics, the final dash piece, and the functionality of that. It's definitely going to be useful, so maybe I'll give some people some ideas if you needed something similar. All right, happy trails.